Morning.
Please, the court, Your Worship, I kindly refer the court to case number SABC 37-2024 and will request to proceed placing evidence on record.
Thank you, Mr. McFarlane.
Please, the court, Your Worship, today is the 3rd day of October 2024, and this is a special house commercial crimes court, Johannesburg. It is here in Public Court number 10, case number SABC 37-2024. Presiding officer, Mr. Fender, prosecutor, Mr. Mukakabe. There's no need for interpreters. Both accused are English conversant. Appearing in respect of accused number 1, it is Mr. Smallsmith. In respect of accused 2, it is Mr. Majav Yosh. May I proceed addressing the court? You should know that on the last court appearance, the matter was remanded to today for the outcome of representations made by accused number 1, Yosh. It is placed on record, Your Worship, that the DPP's office received the reps in respect of or escalated representations in respect of accused number 1 on the 19th of September, Your Worship, 2024. I have been in constant communication with the DPP office in relation to the outcome thereof, Your Worship. I have been advised that the decision has not been made, Your Worship, already as yet. And as a result, the state will then still be requesting for a remand for the outcome of representations in respect of accused number 1. Both my colleagues would like to address the court.
Was any indication given to you by the DPP's office of a timeline when they will make the decision?
Yes, indeed. In actual fact, both my colleagues and I have approached the custodian of Central Diary for a remand date. The agreed upon date, obviously with the approval of this Honourable Court, is the 24th of October, Your Worship. I suppose by that time the decision will have already been made, Your Worship. So the 24th of October is the suggested date with the approval of this Honourable Court, obviously.
Thank you, Mr. Smallsmith, for accused 1.
Your Worship, thank you very much. Your Worship, we appeared in front of Your Worship on the 21st of August, and we informed you that we handed in the representations to the office of the Specialized Commercial Crime Court and the DPP on the 13th of August already. And what then happened, Your Worship, was on the 20th of August we received a letter that that the senior at the Specialized Commercial Crimes Court has turned down the representations, and we then expected or hoped that the DPP will then take the representations over. Unfortunately, it wasn't as simple as that. Although we served on him, we were told on the 10th of September that it doesn't work like that, and that he hasn't received it yet on the 10th, by the 10th of September. We then immediately on the 10th hand-delivered it to him again, and then we were informed and instructed to also deal with the reasons that was advanced by the head of the commercial crime court as to why he refused the representations, and that additional representations was handed in on the 19th of September. So, Your Worship, just on a timeline, because you obviously have to make sure that the court process and time isn't being wasted here, I've just indicated the timeline, and I was informed yesterday that we can expect a decision within 2 weeks, and we then consulted the central diary, and the first day that all of us are available, not 2 weeks but 3 weeks. So just for your worship to be comfortable to agree to a postponement, your worship, that was the timeline of the events, and with that being said, we are available on the 24th of October for the outcome of the decision of the reps by the DPP. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Smallsmith. Thank you, Mr. Majalden.
Good morning, Your Worship. Firstly, Your Worship, I can confirm that I was party to the arrangements to have the matter postponed to the 24th of October 2024. With that out of the way, I just wish to recalibrate the court's thinking to my last address on the last occasion. I had placed it firmly on record that the prejudice against my client mounts every day, especially taking into account that at that stage he had not been party to any interlocutories. However, we recognize that he is standing as a co-accused, and we have to collegially accommodate our colleagues, but obviously I act on instructions. And I had indicated on the last occasion that if these interlocutories continue for longer than they have, I hold instructions to bring a substantive application for a separation of trials. I had indicated to Your Worship that I would be ready with that application or whatever our position would have been absent a timely decision by the DPP. In anticipation of my state of readiness, I personally reached out to the DPP to press him for a response one way or the other, so that I could then advise my client properly and do all things necessary to protect his rights. I was then assured by the DPP that he is seized with the matter and he acknowledges the prejudice to which I was referring, and collegially he also confirmed to me that in any event he is going to be ready with a decision in 2 weeks, reckoned from 2 days ago when I spoke to him. On that basis, it became apparent that today the matter would have to be postponed for 2 weeks in any event. I was comforted and satisfied that it is fair and reasonable based on the discussions that we had. I then decided for good measure, regardless of what the outcome of those representations were, to submit representations on behalf of Mr. Kodwa, which is something that I had not done to date. I was not minded in that direction. I was not instructed in that direction. But having had a collegial discussion with the DPP, I then decided to do so. And I want the court to record that I submitted those submissions. I have shared them with everyone involved in this matter, except the court. Regardless of the outcome of my submissions on behalf of accused number 1, we remain ready for the state to bring it on. I needed to place that on record. And with that understanding, we have no objection to the matter being postponed to the 24th being the date that is suitable to all of us. And the court was spot on to ask for timelines. The timelines that had been agreed upon between the DPP and all of us as practitioners would have been 2 weeks, but unfortunately the central diary through us to 3 weeks, which will take care of the court's concern or my concern about any further inordinate delay. So instead of the DPP having 2 weeks that he asked for, he has 3 weeks. So we should be in a state of readiness to have a definitive answer on the next occasion. And on that occasion, depending on what the decision is, I would be in a better position to then say to the court, these are my instructions and this is what we want to do with the furtherance of this matter. For now, we ask the court to support the request for a postponement to the 24th and that both our clients' bail be extended as the court pleases.
Thank you, Mr. Matsawa. I see you are on your feet.
When the court is ready, Your Worship, I will be able to address the court.
I'm listening.
Yes, please, the court. Your Worship, Mr. Majavu has indicated in relation to their submission of representations on behalf of accused number 2. Indications are that the said representations were forwarded to the state electronically as of this morning, Your Worship. I do not have access to my emails at this stage. I'm not certain, or I haven't looked if such representations have been forwarded. I do not doubt for a second my learned colleague's indication of submission of their reps in respect of accused 2. Yes, I've just been handed the hard copy instead of a soft copy. Secondly, Your Worship will note that representations, the hierarchy thereof, clearly indicates that they first go to the regional head and thereafter to the DPP. However, in respect of accused 2 now, they have been submitted directly to the DPP, Your Worship. Although these are different institutions, different units of the same institution, I think that will then be attended to fully by the 24th, the decision on that has been made.
So although it has gone straight to the DPP's office, will they attend to it and hopefully not send it to the SCCC first for consideration?
Yes, there will be communication, specifically by myself and the regional head of the Specialized Commercial Crime Unit with the DPP, so that there cannot be any further delay in respect of the one consideration and the final decision to be taken in respect of the representations on behalf of both accused.
Are you able to respond to the fact whether the representations by accused number 2 will you have sufficient time to consider and also have an outcome available by our next day?
Yes, I should put my head on the block for that. Although I can just base on record, I have not yet communicated with the DPP in relation to that. Neither have I communicated with the regional head. But the chances are, or I'll certainly say to it, that because I am now being allocated the matter, I am safe with the matter. So I will make certain, Your Worship, that by the next court appearance, which is the 24th of October, a decision in respect of both accused 1 and 2 in respect of their representations would have been finalized by that time.
Thank you, Mr. Mufwani.
Please, the court, Your Worship. Both accused are on bail. May their bail be kindly extended.
Your Worship, with your permission, if I may, just on the last issue raised.
Give me a brief moment. Thank you.
Firstly, Your Worship, that is precisely one of the points that I raised sharply with the DPP to establish whether or not the internal hierarchy and bureaucracies are not going to result in a further delay of the matter. I was then informed by the DPP, an absolute gentleman whose word I trust, that I need to submit those representations contemporaneously, which is why I first sent to Mr. Mokgakgabe, and a few minutes later I then sent to the DPP, who indicated that he will take care of their own internal bureaucracies, which I am in no position to control. So we were alive to that very issue. And in fact, it was at his express request that we should follow suit. Now, I want to place it on record that with or without our representations, we are in a state of readiness. So if come the 20th, 24th, the outcome in respect of our reps on behalf of accused number 2 have not been finalized, we will not ask for a postponement to afford the state a further opportunity. They've had more than enough time. I'm prepared to stand or fall by a determination that would have been made or not made by the 24th. So I do not want a further delay to be attributed at our door simply because we submitted representations now. It was never our intention. It is simply something that collegially arose extracurricularly in our discussion with the DPP. So there will never be a delay caused by accused number 2. I just thought the record should be very clear on that. And in fairness to Mr. Mohakade, I emailed him this morning and I've just handed him a hard copy. He's quite a senior colleague. I'm sure in 3 weeks he would have done what he's supposed to do, and failing which then can be escalated. But we will manage that between us so that we don't belabor the point before the court on things that we should collegially manage as the court pleases.
Thank you. Right, thank you, Mr. McKay, Mr. Kodwa. Your case postponed then until the 24th of October, back to this court 8:30. I'm satisfied by the submissions by all parties that this matter is not stagnating. It is moving along at a reasonable pace. I'm satisfied, therefore, to grant the remand at their joint request until the 24th of October, back to this court 8:30 for the outcome of representations in respect of both accused 1 and 2. Your matter is extended, same conditions as before. Thank you.
Court, please.
There are other matters to be attended to.